Hello everyone, welcome back to the World Conflict Monitor channel. Please subscribe my channel. The story of the Black Sea has taken a dark and decisive turn. Ukrainian missiles have trapped Russian warships, cutting them off from safe passage and transforming what once was a contested maritime theater into a deadly battleground. This is not just another battle, it is the culmination of months of Ukrainian strategy, precision strikes, and unrelenting determination to neutralize Russia's naval dominance. From the destruction of supply depots in Crimea to the ambushes that left Russian ships crippled, the narrative is clear: Ukraine has found a way to make the sea work against Moscow. Today we are going to break this event down in detail, reviewing the exterior dimensions of this confrontation, the interior mechanisms at play, the performance of both sides, the safety features that altered survival odds, the unique selling points that made Ukraine's campaign effective, the symbolic and strategic price Russia is paying, and finally the larger conclusion that shapes the future of the war. The exterior of this conflict is striking in both scale and imagery. The Black Sea, bordered by multiple nations and historically a theater of power contests, now appears dominated not by the proud silhouettes of Russian cruisers but by the precision shadow of Ukrainian missiles. Russian warships once paraded confidently along the Crimean coast, their decks bristling with weapons, radars, and the pride of the Kremlin's naval tradition. But that exterior has now been scarred by missile strikes that leave twisted steel, smoldering decks, and shattered radomes. The Moskva, once the flagship, already lies on the seabed. Other ships now navigate with constant anxiety, camouflaged with crude paint to hide them from drones, covered in smoke screens, and hugging the coast in hopes of survival. The visual story is that of mighty vessels reduced to prey, of Ukraine's smaller, less glamorous weapons reshaping the image of the Black Sea. The presence of makeshift defenses on Russian warships, such as metal cages welded atop decks and sandbags piled around gun mounts, show how desperate the exterior reality has become for Moscow. These are no longer sleek machines of war, they are patched-up hulks trying to withstand the invisible threat above. For Ukraine, the exterior projection is different: mobile missile batteries hidden in forests, camouflaged launchers waiting for the right target, and naval drones gliding silently across the waves. Their appearance is lean, tactical, and deliberately understated, but the results they produce are explosive and visible for the world. Moving to the interior, it is the unseen element that defines this battle. Inside the Ukrainian command network, the coordination between missile operators, drone surveillance teams, and Western intelligence creates a web of precision. Within Russian ships, the atmosphere is tense and claustrophobic. Crews are constantly on alert, alarms sounding at the first radar blip, sailors sleeping beside their stations. The interiors are no longer dominated by order and confidence but by fear of an attack that could come at any moment from the horizon or from the sky. That interior shift, of morale, mindset, and readiness, is just as important as the visible destruction. Performance has become the decisive metric in this deadly contest. Ukrainian missiles such as the domestically modified Neptune and Western-supplied Storm Shadow have demonstrated performance beyond expectations. They travel with speed, accuracy, and the ability to evade Russian air defenses that were once marketed as near impenetrable. When these missiles strike, they not only disable warships but send ripples of psychological shock throughout the Russian fleet. The performance of drones, both aerial and naval, has also redefined warfare. Low cost, remotely guided, and extremely difficult to intercept, these systems have cornered Russia in a domain where it was supposed to reign supreme. Russia's performance, in contrast, has been disappointing. Its air defenses, including the S-400, have been repeatedly penetrated. Its ships, designed for blue water dominance, struggle to defend themselves in confined coastal waters where missiles rain in unpredictably. Fuel convoys are targeted, ammunition ships explode, and even naval headquarters in Sevastopol have been struck with precision. The performance scorecard is clear: Ukraine is punching far above its weight, while Russia is failing to protect its most valuable assets. Safety features are what distinguish survival from destruction in modern warfare. For Ukraine, safety is found in dispersion, mobility, and intelligence sharing. By hiding missile batteries, relocating launchers after every shot, and receiving near real-time satellite updates, they ensure their operators remain alive to fire again. The safety features of Russian ships, however, have come under scrutiny. Supposedly advanced radar and missile defense systems like the Steel and Panzer mounted on decks have failed to intercept incoming salvos. Crews resort to old-fashioned smoke screens and electronic jamming that often fail against modern targeting. The sinking of the Moskva revealed shocking deficiencies in fire control, evacuation drills, and watertight compartmentalization. Russian sailors have been left vulnerable, with safety measures collapsing under real-world stress. Meanwhile, Ukraine has adapted Western-provided training that emphasizes crew survivability, damage control, and redundancy, ensuring that even if one system fails, another can cover. This contrast has meant that while Ukraine preserves its strike capacity, Russia hemorrhages ships and lives. Unique selling points explain why this campaign has shifted the balance of the war. Ukraine's key advantage is asymmetry. By not attempting to match Russia ship for ship, Ukraine instead focused on making each missile count. Every strike is a message. Size does not equal survival. The unique selling point of Ukrainian strategy is precision over volume, innovation over tradition. Homemade modifications, integration of NATO-grade intelligence, and a willingness to experiment with drone swarms have created a lethal recipe. Another selling point is psychological. Russia's sailors now fear the sea. A navy that was once a tool of intimidation has turned into a liability, with commanders reluctant to deploy ships far from port. This psychological paralysis is perhaps Ukraine's greatest victory. For the global audience, the selling point is symbolic. A smaller nation has rewritten the rules of naval warfare, showing that determination, intelligence, and innovation can overcome brute strength. In doing so, Ukraine has also advertised the effectiveness of Western technology in real battle conditions, sending a message to allies and adversaries worldwide. The price being paid is steep, and not only in monetary terms. For Russia, the financial price of losing billion-dollar warships is catastrophic. The Moskva alone represented years of investment and strategic pride, now reduced to wreckage. Other vessels damaged or destroyed mean billions lost and decades of naval planning undone. Beyond money, the political price is even heavier. Russia's image as a great naval power has been shattered, its threats ring hollow when ships hide behind breakwaters instead of dominating the seas. Domestically, the loss of sailors fuels discontent among families, eroding support for the war. Internationally, the spectacle of Ukraine neutralizing Russia's fleet undermines Moscow's claim to military superiority. For Ukraine, the price is different. Each missile launch consumes precious stocks, and each drone attack risks failure. Civilians in coastal cities still face retaliation. Yet in relative terms, Ukraine spends less to achieve far greater results. The price-performance ratio heavily favors Kyiv, and that is why this campaign continues to expand. In conclusion, the story of Ukrainian missiles trapping Russian warships in the Black Sea is more than a series of strikes. It is a revolution in modern warfare, where agility defeats bulk, and where intelligence trumps intimidation. The exterior tells of once mighty ships now scarred and vulnerable. The interior tells of sailors under constant fear and commanders scrambling for answers. The performance metrics reveal Ukraine's astonishing efficiency and Russia's mounting failures. Safety features highlight the adaptability of Kyiv's defenses against the fragility of Moscow's. The unique selling points show how innovation, precision, and morale can change the tide of war. The price underscores Russia's staggering losses and Ukraine's comparatively efficient investments. The deadly transformation of the Black Sea stands as proof that even in the face of overwhelming odds, a determined nation armed with ingenuity can strike decisively. Ukraine has not only trapped Russian warships but also trapped Russia's entire naval doctrine in a web of obsolescence. The Black Sea is no longer a stage for Russian dominance, it is a graveyard of Moscow's pride and a battlefield where Ukraine's resolve shines unchallenged.